Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Eclipse. My name is Jessica. In this video, we'll be asking the cards about your first meeting with your life partner or your future spouse, whichever you feel drawn to. So I have 4 stacks for you all today. We have Cherry Blossom Agate, Black Agate, Clear Quartz, and lastly Rose Quartz. And I know this looks whiter on camera, but it's actually pink. So choose whichever stack or stacks call out to you. Remember, this is a quick pick a card, so it's a little bit shorter, not as detailed. Of course, if you'd like me to go into detail or make a follow-up video, I will, but you can check the description box or the comment section for timestamps if you'd like to skip directly to the stack or stacks you've chosen. Starting with our first stack, we have Cherry Blossom Agate. Our first card is the Four of Wands. We have the Queen of Swords, Justice, and lastly we have Plantain with Rewild. So I see a lot of interaction going on with all of these cards. We see an interesting grouping here. We see like the cats here. We also see nature represented in both of these cards, and then the swords tie in the 2 cards in the center. So I would say, purely based on that first card with the Four of Wands, it seems to be a really nice meeting. One that's more on the relaxed side. It's not really like a big, loud, or, intense atmosphere. I would say it's probably you and maybe a couple of your friends, or this person and a couple of their friends, like a small gathering. It's not a lot of people. This could also be you and maybe like your family members if somebody's setting you up. This could be just those really close people. I wouldn't say a large group, but it seems like a very nice little atmosphere going on here, especially because of this like beautiful sky and this cute picnic. It's just a easygoing feel that I'm seeing within this first card. So right off the bat, it seems like this first meeting, this interaction is going to be just really nice and comfortable, calm. We see the Queen of Swords here coming in, and it almost seems like there's somebody who's sort of guiding the conversation, somebody who is sort of getting you to talk to each other, to be more outgoing, more conversational, because we see that sword represented between these 2 cards, or these 2 cats here in the Justice card, and it almost feels like this is you and this other person, and you're there with each other, but there's an awkwardness, or there's something that's, you guys don't know how to interact with each other yet, or you're just not able to really talk about things. So this person here is sort of saying, oh, blah 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 has these hobbies and they like to do this, or sort of giving you conversation starters. And I wouldn't say that they're controlling, they're controlling this conversation. I would say because we see this sort of open hand, it's sort of a gentle encouragement. So this person's really there to try and get you to open up and talk to this person. I would say both of you, for both of you to open up and talk to each other. But it seems like a good environment where there's like not many people there, so it seems very comfortable, but it's not like it's just you two, so there's an awkward silence or moments where you just don't know what to talk about. It seems like a really good feel going on here. With the Justice card coming in, we see that equality. So I would say that there's a lot of conversation going back and forth, hearing what the other person has like as hobbies, as interests, but also like what they do for a living, what their major interests are, and how that's compatible with you. Both of you really sharing a lot of information about yourself and getting to know the other person. But these 2 cards together really lead me to think that this is a good conversation like area. So if you're the type of person who maybe isn't that good at talking, or you're maybe worried about what you'd have to talk about with this person, it seems like there's going to be some comfort there in either having somebody else there to help you along the way, or just having that gentle encouragement. When we see Plantain here with Rewild, it's like getting to know yourself, getting back to the center of things, also getting to explore maybe parts of you that you haven't gotten to explore. And I would say, because we do see that card here with getting to know the other person, as I was saying, like expressing yourself, getting to know who this other person is, their similarities with you, I'd say that this really brings out a lot in you, this meeting with this person. There seems to be a lot of similarities, but also parts of their personality, things that they talk about that really get you excited and make you want to to explore the world or do more because this person's interests are very intriguing, even if they're little things like just going out to the beach or something to see the shells, and going to like a forest or a nature area to explore what's out there. It seems like this person is really going to bring you out, but more like in a way that'll find interests in you that you didn't know you had before. So I would say it seems like a really calm, good meeting. This seems just very nice. It seems like there's no stress here. So if you have any fears about just, meeting this person and it being awkward or strange or not having anything to talk about, don't worry. This is like a really good meeting. And if you know who this person is that's sort of going to be there with you, I would say that you have an understanding of what this meeting is going to be like. But it seems like it's a good atmosphere. I wouldn't say overwhelming by any means. It's actually really, really just peaceful. So that's what I'm seeing with this first stack and the Cherry Blossom Agate. And if this is the only stack that you're here for, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope that you and all your loved ones are doing well. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Starting with pile 2, we have Black Agate. Our first card is the Six of Pentacles. Next we have the Sun, the Moon, and lastly we have Passion Flower with Exuberant Quietude. So starting off here, we have, well, actually in the center we have two cards that sort of oppose each other. We see the Sun and the Moon here, and we have the sun brightening everything, so we can see all, that everything is visible to us. There's no fear, there's no worries. Everything is really represented as positive within this card. But then we see the Moon here, and the Moon is sort of representing darkness or things that we can't really see. But specifically with this Moon card, whenever I see this exact card drawn within this deck, I see it as two people, and they're illuminated by the moonlight. And that's why we see them sort of standing out. We see them within the darkness. Those two trees are still visible. And even though it might seem like it's a negative card, even though it might seem like it's a card representing darkness, to me it has an essence of light, because it's still showing that throughout everything, those two are still together. Those two are still standing and still sort of strong there together. Like the moon is shining down on them with positivity, in support. So I see these two cards really tying into a lot of positivity. We also see the Six of Pentacles here, and the Six of Pentacles is interesting because it reminds me of the first stack, and it has a sort of funny appearance within this reading, because I see it as somebody is sort of like in between you two. So this could be somebody this could be somebody who is introducing you to and just not like getting the hint that it's time to like leave you two alone to talk to each other without them interfering. But it seems like they're still there, sort of like interrupting or still trying to lead the conversation, which is very similar to the first reading, where there's somebody else helping with the conversation, but it was seemingly helpful. Like that first reading was helpful. This one seems like you guys just want to talk to each other, but this person is sort of standing in the way. But I also see it as a continuation within the Moon card, as this person is in the long run the one that does help you to sort of see that there is a lot in common, and that maybe this is something to explore, something to sort of put some effort into. So we see these two here sort of separated by this central figure, not being able to discuss each other. But also, if we look closely, their plates are empty because this person's sort of evaluating all the food. They're looking at everything, trying to inspect everything. So we see that situation where there's sort of a delay in the two sort of getting to where they need to be. But I also see this as something in common. So whatever this person is doing when you two are first encountering each other is actually going to lead you to sort of bond. So you can both talk about how the person was talking way too much about themselves, or they were mentioning really weird things, or just like not letting you two talk. And I see this as sort of being a fun memory down the line. Of course, we have the Sun here with just radiance, positivity, everything like going great, everything well. So we see that even though this might start off a little weird or just you know, if you're hoping to get some time to really talk to this person, this card is saying, don't worry, everything will work out. You just need to like get around that first person to get through that. But I see a lot represented here within these two central cards, with that positivity, that sort of emphasis on you two. And I see when it comes down to it, whatever this meeting is, because it does seem like a group gathering, it seems like here you two do get time to talk to each other, where you're able to sit down and get to know the other person. And because we have those two trees here, I would say that during this first encounter, you get to know this person and you find out so much about them and how much you have in common. Like they're two trees, and that's really what you two are. The core values are the same, the interests are the same, and it's not in an overwhelming way where you have everything in common. It's in a really good, compatible way where even though there are certain things here and there, right, like the trees won't grow to be the same exact height. They won't have the same pattern of leaves on them. They won't have the same pattern of roots in the ground, but in essence, they're still the same tree, or like they're still within the same species. And I see that really represented within YouTube. There are so many important things in common that you'll find out during this first conversation. I see it really being a great meeting. Then we have here with passion flower, exuberant quietude. And it's sort of funny because I kept saying this person talks a lot, or this person's really going to sort of not give you enough time to, or make you feel like you don't have enough time to talk to this person, and all you want is just the opportunity to speak to them, you know, alone or away from people. And we see quietude there, where it is that separation, where it's that like that special sort of moment where you two really get to know each other. And I see that really speaking a lot about this meeting, where you two really get to know each other and find out it's something really special. And it's almost like you guys don't get, like, you don't have to speak to each other in order to understand the other person. You're finishing each other's sentences and you're knowing exactly what the other person is saying, like within that first meeting, within that first interaction. You're already like close with this person. Well, that's what I'm seeing here with this second stack. It seems like maybe at first this person is not, like, there's a third party that's really just talking a lot, or trying to get you two to talk to each other without knowing it's, you know, it's time to leave. But I see it's just a lot of positivity represented within this first stack, and when you, or within this second stack, when you two do get to speak to each other alone, I see it just being a wonderful like communication setting. But that's what I see with this second stack. If this is where you're stopping, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope that everyone around you is staying safe and healthy. Bye bye. Starting with our third stack and clear quartz. Our first card is the Queen of Pentacles. Next we have the Three of Wands. We have Strength. And lastly, we have Oats with Just Be. We start off here with the first card, with the Queen of Pentacles. I always love this card because I just think it's such a nice card. It's a nice, you know, cute card, but also one that just makes you feel sort of happy. And that's the way I see this meeting going, this person, when you meet them. They seem to be the type of person that just makes you happy. There's not much, you know, there's not like a lot going on. There's nothing really spectacular. There's nothing like this person isn't going to tell you that they've written 20 books and they've, you know, gone to space. But what they do have is something that's very unique. All the stories they tell, their personality, their just overall feel, their aura, everything about them, it's just something that's very fascinating. Even though it's not like the grandest, it's something so special, and it's like quietness, and it's you know, just everyday aspect of it. But I also see like there's a few little quirky things about this person, and of course quirky in a good way. Like they're an interesting person. They have some fun stories to tell. They'll have interesting facts that they just, you know, they'll tell you, and it's not like in an annoying way where, you know, people will sometimes tell you facts that don't really interest you. This person has facts that are actually really fun, and they really teach you a lot, and it's just like a really nice person. That's all I can say, is this person seems very, very nice. And I would say that they're inviting. Like they are the type that makes you feel at home with them. They bring you into their world, and they like make you feel like it was made for you. Everything about them is just very welcoming. They have such a wonderful approach to life, approach to people, and a way of just being around others in such a good, calm, but accepting way. There's nothing that's like really riled up about them. They might not be like the most excitable person, but that's what is great about them. That's what's like really special, is that just sereneness that they have. They have something that is really great. It's like they are home. This just them. But within this first meeting, we really get to see that side of them, that really central personality trait. We also see more to them, but it almost like it leaves you get wanting more. You know, you're questioning, you're trying to get more out of them. Like, how do they know these things? So it's not entirely that they're like a boring person and they don't have any experiences. I would say that those experiences that they do have are very unique. So the facts that they tell you are directly related to their experiences, but you know, they're not one to gloat or to tell you a lot about themselves. They sort of don't like to talk too much about themselves. So there's more to them, because I sort of see here like we haven't gotten to know who this person is yet, because we've only seen the back of them, and it's like you're left wondering and intrigued, so you want to meet them again. You want to get to know them more and to talk to them more. So I see it as something that's really good, continuation into this relationship, a really good like starting point when it comes to this first interaction with them. We see strength here, and with strength within this card, I love how it's almost romantic. It sort of reminds me of Beauty and the Beast, where we have the lion here, but the lion sort of looks like the beast, and the lion has the rose, and it's the infinity sign on his head, and it just makes me feel like it's representing a deep love, one that's truly dedicated without any restrictions or hesitations. So it's somebody who's putting like their entire self into this relationship. So I would say this stretches out beyond this first interaction. This goes for your entire relationship. This person is a very dedicated person. They put everything out there, and they don't worry about the reaction they'll receive. I would say that this is a very romantic person, very loving person, and a very expressive person. Somebody who's always there to tell you how they feel. They always want you to know. And it's not that they question that, like, do you know if they care about you? Do you know how much they care about you? It doesn't, that's not what it is. They just want to tell you that, because they if they have the opportunity to say it, they're going to say it. It's them trying to express themselves continuously. And I would say you really see that within that first interaction, that first meeting. They really seem to be one who almost wears their heart on their sleeve. They're very open, not in a braggy way. Like, they don't want to talk about their accomplishments, like to make people feel like they haven't done as much. I'm gonna say like they've done everything. Like, once again, they haven't like done everything, but the few things that they've done are very interesting. But they don't really talk about themselves a lot, but they are very expressive when it comes to loving people and starting relationships. And it seems like this person really jumps into just, you know, wanting to start a relationship with you. It might not be romantic at first. It could be that they just like really like you, and they're all like 100% game for a new friendship. Like they're really psyched to meet a new person. It's just like everyone, you know, everyone's a potential friend to them. But I really see it evolving, especially because we have Just Be here with Oats. And to me, this is something that takes time to develop. You might not see it at first. Like, you might not see where this little tower is going before it's done. It might take a while, and things might fall off. You know, it might not be the easiest thing to build, but if you take the time, it'll get there. And they know that. They are like that in a nutshell. I see them being that one that's just really, you know, they're not pushy. So I would say that when you first meet them, they're not going to be the type that's like really like, let's go on a date, let's, you know, pursue a romantic relationship. They really want to just test the waters, move in slowly so that it can develop into something really positive. So that's what I'm seeing here with this third stack in Clear Quartz. It seems like a really just good person, like just a very, like, I don't know, approachable good person. So if this is the last stack for you, I hope that you and all your loved ones are doing well. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye. Starting with our fourth stack in pink quartz. It is pink. I'm sorry if you can't tell. The camera's not picking it up well. So we have our first card with the King of Wands. Next, we have the Three of Pentacles, then the World, and lastly, we have Trillium with Spirit into Matter. So we have an interesting set of cards here, and it's not in like a bad way. Don't worry about that. It's not in a normal way that we're seeing this. We're sort of seeing a little like popping around to different aspects of this first interaction or this first meeting. We're seeing you first seeing this person, and if they catch your eye, and we see this king here being silly, joking around, and it seems like it's a fun person, and that catches your eye. You see this person and they seem like a good person to be around, like somebody who's a lot of fun, who's lively, who's just got a really great personality, but you sort of don't want to approach them. And that's why we see this follow up here with the Three of Pentacles, where you ask around, you ask, maybe if you're like at a gathering, a party or something, you see them and then you go over to your friend or somebody you know and you say, well, who's that over there? And they're like, oh, that's blah blah blah, and you're like, well, what are they like? So you try to get more information about them, and that person, that friend, like, I think can sense that you're interested in this person, so they walk you back over to them and they introduce you to them. So I see like this little story being told here within these cards. We have the Three of Wands, which is representing communication, a lot of good communication, the ability to talk freely, to communicate with another person how you're feeling, to receive feedback, to give feedback, you know, to just be open and able to communicate. So I see a lot of good communication going on here. You two really being able to talk. I see as you're talking, you really get to know more about this person. I love this card because it's so vibrant, it's so pretty, it has so much going on here, and there are many ways to interpret it. Even though it's the World and it's representing a lot of options, to me within this style card, it's representing like growth, it's representing joy, it's representing a lot here. We see those flowers in the center, we see what almost looks like an eye, like an iris right here, but then we see it surrounded by a rainbow and all these stars and like a sky. So it's just so much positivity, so many signs of like good, you know, good things to come. And I really see that as like, as you're getting to know them, as you get to talk to people around you about them, and this is all taking place within that first interaction, I really see you sort of like opening your eyes up to this person and seeing like this might be the one, this might be like that special person. I really see that represented here within this card. Like it's almost a like a realization that you have when you're seeing this person, like this is somebody special. And it seems like this personality, this person, just is somebody that's very refreshing to you, somebody that you need in your life, somebody that's going to be very compatible. But I see it as somebody who you won't feel uncomfortable around. It won't be like somebody you're just meeting. You'll feel like you've known this person for many years. They're going to have a really good, easy going conversation, going to be able to joke with each other. It might not be that like everything is in common with this person, but I see this person as being somebody you can talk to and develop a relationship with very, very easily. And of course, it really does seem like everybody has nothing but nice things to say about this person, and they're very positive. Like they really seem to like this person. If anything, I would say like everyone seems to really like whoever this is that's coming into your life. This seems like somebody, I mean, this could be somebody you already know or you have an idea of, but it seems like just a really great personality within this person. Lastly, we have Trillium here, and Trillium is an interesting card because we see these jewels in the roots, and of course the roots are hidden, so it's something that you don't see. You're not immediately aware. Like if you were walking through the woods wherever this grows, it's not like something you would see because it's on the floor, you know, and it's in a darker area. You don't see it immediately, and you won't see the great things about this person immediately, but once you get to have that conversation with them, once you're able to really sit down and talk to them, you realize like this person is really amazing. This is like literally the diamond in the rough, but you actually get to see the diamond. Everything about them is really amazing, really wonderful. They have such, like, so many hidden aspects to them, and I see it as this relationship grows. You get to know more and more about them. They have, like, they don't tell you things immediately, but when you get to know them, like, you're really excited about them, or you discover something else that really unites you two and brings you two together. So I see, like, this relationship is going to continuously grow. You'll continue to bond with each other because it's just like a really good environment to flourish. And we see so much going on here, so many things to learn from each other, so many things to bond about, so many similarities, so many things that just are super compatible with each other. And I would say, if you're not the type that usually goes for somebody who's more of a jokester, somebody who's there to like lighten up the mood, I would say that this is really who's coming into your life. Somebody who is that brightener, the one that really brings the sun into every situation. But with this deck, I really see this communication here that's really standing out to me with these cards. It seems like this is just really going to be a great interaction between you two. I see a lot going on here, and just like really like almost like people are paving the road for you for this relationship. Like people are actively encouraging this relationship once they find out that you have an interest in this person. So that's what I'm seeing with this final stack here with the rose quartz. And I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And if this is your last reading, or if you watched the entire video, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope that you and your loved ones are doing well and staying safe and healthy, and that everything is just going positive for you. If there's a question you'd like to ask in a future pick a card video, feel free to leave it in the comment section. As always, please stay safe. Have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye-bye.